Okay, so we need to have a discussion. Let's talk about the serial killer role. Now, you all know the rules. Is it balanced? Is it fun? And does it fit? Now, before we start, we need to first talk about the history of the serial killer role. Serial killer is originally a Town of Salem role that only had two abilities. It either had the ability to attack, aka kill, or it had the ability to abstain from killing passive role blockers, aka escorts, consorts, or today would be tavern keepers and bootleggers. Which I still think is kind of weird that they did that change, but to each of their own. Now, what does it do in Town of Salem 2? There are two functions for Town of Salem 2 serial killer. The first function is in vanilla, and the second function is in modded. I will not be talking about modded because that is Tuba and Curtis's baby, and I don't think it's necessary for me to even have a serious opinion about modded because modded is just for fun, you know? So in vanilla, serial killer has the similar ability of killing role blockers like in Town of Salem 1, but it has a secondary ability with attacking. It has rampage. How does it work? You kill one person, you kill a second person. Then you get the ability to rampage, similar to how werewolf, similar how to a powered up berserker, similar to how pretty much anything that has rampage can do it. Let's talk about, is it balanced? The answer to that is unfortunately yes. It is extremely balanced because it always has killing power, which is what makes it really good. And you can calculate your rampage according to some navigation in the game. If hypothetically you know that two people are always going to be going on each other, like lookouts, or for example, socialites, that's another one. So if you can get calculating the exact trajectory of each player, if you know that 7 is going to be trajected to can stay on 6 the town power, then you go on 7 night 1, you get into the guest list, then you go on a rampage, and then you just keep it going until you can kill the town power and the socialite all in one go. It is very, very balanced. It's actually one of those roles that's balanced enough where I don't think it needs to be changed at all. I know some people say that the modded version is better, and I do not agree with that. I think they're both very good. The one thing modded version has over vanilla is that modded version can choose when to have powerful attack. Vanilla needs a little bit more fine tuning, but it's still very, very, very doable. Now, let's talk about the second thing. Is it fun? The answer to that is kinda, but not really. Early on, it's very fun because you get to kill and you get to be a little bit anonymous. But as the game narrows down, as more players are lost to death, you kind of become obvious. Oh, 8 the psychic without real psychic proof. Well, it could be 8. Oh, 8 claimed Vigi, no Vigi kills. 8's the SK. Oh, 8 claimed Oracle veteran, etc. Oh, it's definitely 8. Like, you become super obvious. And that becomes super stressful. It starts from a fun role to a very stressful role. And the only way you can get away with it is if you learn how to navigate through all that and knowing who to kill. If you're able to scum read, oh, 11 is Coven, and we're at night 3 and there aren't any Coven out, maybe I should start whittling down Coven. That kind of thought process. Like, it takes a little bit of fine tuning, but it is extremely fun. Now, does it fit the vibes of the game? And the answer to that is, it is the role, the quintessential example for a role that fits the vibe of the game. Because not only do you not have a faction, you do have a faction, the serial killer faction. And the best part is you don't know who your faction members are until everything is revealed. So, Does it mean that it needs to be changed? I don't think so. I think serial killer is one of those roles that is perfect as is. Maybe, maybe the only thing I would change about it should be able to rampage more. That's the only thing I would do that I would change about this. For example, after night 4, like werewolf, it should be rampaging and it should be accumulating more and more and more kills. I think serial killer being similar to werewolf is actually a good thing and not a bad thing. I know people are saying, oh, serial killer is just like werewolf. No, it's A. No, it's not. B, I think that's a good thing. I think some roles should have like a certain type of power in the game. And let's move on to the comment section from the sheriff video, because I do want to talk about that. So once again, we have our boy Zanith the Groot, who talks about sheriff always makes me feel like TOL. I think they meant to say something else. I don't know what TOL is. Is that Traders of Salem? I don't know what TOL is. But sheriff always makes me feel of TOL's sheriff, and how much better the role is due to the game's conversation mechanic. Well, yes, when you're talking, then it always shows up more, like when you're scum reading and you're able to get info on them. So you have a theoretically infinite number of evils to find, yes, and none of the faction roles are detection immune after night 2. Bearing a conversation of the role who can grant detection immunity, such as Chronomancer. Don't know what that is. And you have a bonus day ability to pick a player and to put a scout on it, which will notify you how they convert the evil faction. Half of X? No. I'm thinking of PoE. I was like, wait, what? Oh, Throne of Lies. Oh my God, I forgot about Throne of Lies. Throne of Lies is one of those games that basically died out because... Why did they die out? It was free. I don't remember. Throne of Lies. Good God, I forgot all about that game. Fiddled Felly Day Enjoyer says, I feel like Sheriff needs a buff, which it does to a small extension. Yes. To a small extent. It should be able to find the Arsonist SK sus. I agree about Arsonist, I do not agree about SK. And I'll explain in the end of the comment why. It not being able to doesn't make sense to me. Werewolf only on Rampage Night is perfectly fine. Shroud is just a dude who's possessed, but SK and Arso are madmen. They should be sus. Okay, first of all, the ending just doesn't really vibe with me, because that would not really vibe with the game. You are either Arsos or not. But the reason why I agree with you on Arsonist and not SK is because one thing that Sheriff does as its default is it looks for people who are acting suspicious. And if you're running around smelling like gasoline, you're kind of sus. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let me explain. People don't smell like gasoline. There used to be a TV show called Dexter, where there was a serial killer walking around normal people, and people thought that was completely normal. And that's why I think a serial killer should not be in that conversation. Arsonist should, but on the flip side, what arsonists should be doing is framing as well. For example, if arsonist starts running around causing people to be suspicious because of the gasoline smell, I think that would be incredible for arsonist. That would be an arsonist buff. That would be a sheriff buff. It would also be a sheriff nerf, but it would make the game a lot more interesting, because then sheriffs do not go arsonists do not go undetectable, and I think that would be a lot more interesting, because arsonist just has a super high win rate in Town of Salem too, because nothing is catching them. Nothing. And people are very afraid of that because of that. Like, they hear arsonists, they're like, oh, they can go undetected, we gotta find them. And the only way to detect them is if an evil outs them, or if a spy outs them. or pirate. Okay, there are ways to find arsonists in a game. However, I still think that it's not a big deal if arsonist was more detected, because shrouds are detected and SKs are detected and werewolves are detected, so why not arsonists too? Because Coven is sure as heck in detected by pretty much everyone. And yeah, that's about it.